Okay, what I've got in front of me here is a motorcycle lift. We bought it recently. We purchased it from a company here in Australia called Happ, H-A-P-P. And they get these constructed to their particular design specifications, and the design is extremely good. Now, what I wanted to do in this video is actually explain the features of this particular lift, which model it is, and also talk about why we chose this one over all the other alternatives. But before I do that, I just want to reinforce the idea that, first of all, this is my opinion. It's got nothing to do with Happ. I have no association with them. I paid full retail price for this, so I have no obligations to market any of their products. I just wanted to share the information about motorcycle lifts because when I went and looked for information, it was very difficult to find. So there you go. Enjoy the video. So this is motorcycle lift. As I said in the introduction, this is made to the specifications of a company here in Australia called Happ. And the reason I chose this particular one is there was a number of models they offered. And this particular one, which is the MC35, was the largest motorcycle lift. It's not a quad lift or anything like that, so it's not wide enough for that. But it's the largest and more robust of the models that they had. Now, the reason I chose this particular one was not only for the features that came with it, but it was the one that I had more faith in using when we're lifting the BMW R1200 GS and all the other bikes that we have. So I think, you know, at the end of the day, you need something that's going to be robust and do the job that you want. Now, let me talk about some of the features. The first thing is you'll notice it's pretty standard in terms of what a motorcycle lift would be like. It comes with a controller, you know, one of these hoist controllers or something. And the interesting thing about this is it kind of sits naturally in your hand this way with the lead going down, but the correct way to do it is this way. That probably would be the only change I would make on it. I would have it so that the cord runs out below and then up is up here. And I found this out the hard way because that's actually how I grabbed it and then I couldn't operate it. But trick or a trap for young players, right? It's actually the other way. And the way it works is you just simply press the button, okay, and then it goes down. It's got a safety lock feature. When you press the button, it releases the safety lock. And if you want to go up, obviously you press the up button. Okay, as it's going up, the safety lock feature is sitting or resting on a series of ribs, and it's going to lock in. Okay, there it locked in. And it hit a stop. There's a stop there, so that's as far as it will actually go. Now it also has an emergency stop, so you just whack that button, okay, and to release it, you just rotate a little bit. But what's cool about this is it has a couple of magnets on the back, and kind of just sits there. You can attach it anywhere you want, you know, whatever's convenient. So yeah, I kind of like that whole feature. Like I said, I would just change where the lead went in. I'd reverse those switches. Now, the other things about it is it's got mounting points for tying your bike down, which is important. You know, if you're working on a bike at height and it's sitting up there balancing on something, then, you know, you don't want it to fall. So you can tie it down. In addition to the 6 tie downs that it's got located that you bolt onto the platform, you've got these, you get a couple of these with a little eyelet attached, and pretty self-explanatory. Got a little slot at the front, you just slide them in. Okay, and they would connect to the handlebar, the top of the forks, like you would in a trailer. And because they're pulling inwards and upwards, they kind of lock in there. You don't need to bolt them in. So very cool. So you've got that. Okay, the front end of it, you've got, you know, the chock for the wheel. The rear part is adjustable for different wheel sizes. So we've set it up for a 17-inch wheel. You just simply pull out a split pin, pull the pin out, and you can slide it backwards and forwards quite a long way. So this would do, you know, 21-inch wheels, you know, easy as, and even go smaller than 17. So that's where I had it for the 17. Now, the other thing about this is they, rather than bolt this wheel chock system to the plate at the front, they've got a sliding system, a couple of runners here, where you just undo the bolts and you can slide that and adjust it this way. So that gives you movement of the front, so you can move it backwards or forwards. And there'd be a few inches of movement at each end. And then with the adjustability of the chock, right, so you laugh and you've got a pretty cool bit of kit there. Now, this is what I really liked about it is at the front and rear, there's a couple of, you'll see cutouts. So the reason they're there is if you jack the bike up and you support it, can actually take the plate away, in this case the chock, from the wheels. So they just simply lift up, slide out, and then rotate down. So that would just hang under there, and you could work freely on the front wheel. You could pull the tyre out, the wheel out, go and replace the tyre or something like that. And then once you've got the wheel back on, you just simply lift it and it just slides back in. They've also got one at the back here, right, for the rear wheel. Same thing, just slides forward, drops down, okay, and you've got clear space at the back. Yeah, I love it. It's very, very cool. Okay, and easy to put back as well. Now, additional accessories you can get with this particular one. They have a range of accessories there with Happ. So you get the high capacity lift. I think this as well, rated capacity is 1,100 pounds. So, you know, just a good mechanism for lifting the back, so lifting the motorcycle with an adjustable and sliding, you know, brackets here for bolting on the frames and however you're attaching it. Now, in addition to that, the other things you can buy specific to this particular one is parts trays. So these are very cool. So when I spoke to Gavin down there at Happ, he recommended these. They're only new. So we've got another 3. So there's basically 4 can fit on it. You have a strip here, 1 at the back, 2 on the other side. And the intent of these is that you could put tools, parts, things that you're pulling off the motorcycle. So rather than have it sitting on a flat surface where it rolls off and you drop it on the ground, you can actually put them in here. And not quite sure what the holes here are for, but probably drop screwdrivers and spanners through or something. But very cool. Now, in addition to that, there's another thing. If you have a look down here, right, they've got, and you buy these as an optional extra, they've got these wheels, right? So they look like this. And the way they work is the wheel just moves around, it's loose, so it's sitting up like that. But if you push down on that lever, what that does is it locks it in so that the wheel is lower than the base. And what that means is you now got an option for rolling this thing around. So we've got these on each end of this particular hoist. And all you simply do is you just slide them in, right? It just locates in a hole. And then if I want to pick that up, all I simply do is I put my foot on that and I push it, and that thing is now, if I do all 4 corners, that thing is now mobile. Yeah, so I thought that's a very, very cool feature. The only other thing that I haven't mentioned is you've got one of these, you've got a wrap, okay, and that just simply clips on the back, and you can leave it on, take it off. It actually sits there if you raise it up, but I thought it's safer to take it off anyway. So there you go. That is the Happ MC35, and I think it's a pretty good bit of kit. So nothing to do but now go and use it.